No. Whenever you're ready. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Good evening, we are progress movies, short meeting. You have one. Yes, so I would like to call to order Monday, 7, cleaner committee. We need Madam Rossi. Councilor Jermaine, present. Councilor Vasquez. Councilor Perry, Diane. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to hold the meetings of July 1st as we so. Madam Rossi, Councilor Jermaine, yes. Councilor Vasquez. Yes. Councilor Perry.
Yes.
Councilor Diane.
Yes.
Councilor Kemp.
Yeah.
Comments on the matter. And if there is anyone in the chamber, I would like to follow the opportunity. So on the comment on the matter, start for hello. Many times when you say the only after I just want to before you explain that present to you, so I've done that. Well, here, so I can see that.
And share if I may. Appreciate you coming forward, in order to comply with state law, specifically open meetings. My understanding, and I'll inquire of the clerk, this is not an agenda item tonight, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's going to go on the September agenda. It would be more appropriate we wait till then, just so we're in compliance with state law.
Anyone else on the matter? Excuse me, yeah.
Her family, things were going good up until about April timeframe, where I guess he was released from prison without me knowing. I guess found her connected, whatever the case may be. On June 17th, I got a call from the city Cranston police, and they told me that a suspect robbed the Cranston Park Ave Citizens Bank, stole my tenant's bicycle, and they think that he's in the house. They were going to do some surveillance to understand if he was there or not. So I said, sure. They thought that he was in the house. Long story short, they shut the power to the whole street, evacuated all the people on the street. The SWAT team came in. They broke 8 windows, 4 different doors. They shot tear gas throughout the house, ricocheted off all the walls. So the house is really a mess right now. They broke the garage door looking for him, and he ended up not being there. They found him in some storage unit on Phoenix Avenue. So my claim is just, I just came here to explain kind of what happened and why the situation was that bad.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in chamber that would like to speak?
Hi, my name is David Yearwood. I'm here for Shake Shack. We are seeking our vitriol's license, or is that Raider?
Sir, that's the next meeting, which will be in about half hour, 45 minutes.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
All right.
No problem.
Thank
This
you,
is the
Council.
claim
I
committee.
met you yesterday.
All right, is there anyone else in chamber or online would like to speak on a docketed matter?
I see no public comment online.
Thank you. So there is no more public comments in the chamber. So at this time, we would like to close public comments. Now, I would like to ask a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please take the,
Councilwoman Jermaine,
yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Donegan.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
At this time, we are going into executive session. If you are watching or in the chamber, we will back after executive session. Would like a motion to come out from the executive session.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
All right, we did take vote in executive session. I would like to have a motion to seal the minutes of the executive session.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
All
Yes.
right. I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? We adjourn the meetings tonight.
Councilwoman, Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Present?
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Present.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Present.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up public comment. If there's anyone in council chambers that would like to make any public comment on any docketed item in the Safety Services Committee meeting, please step forward and state your name and address for the record. And make sure the green light is on
Yes, it is.
and speak directly into the microphone, please.
Hello, I'm Nikki Miller. My address is 708 Dyer Ave. I just want to make sure that this is what I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be speaking, correct? About an issue with Dyer Ave.
Yes.
Is
this
I
is-
okay?
this is
Okay.
public-
I
This is,
just want to make sure that I'm doing it right.
this is public comment on any item
Okay.
that's on the agenda tonight.
And it
all right.
is at the end. Okay, sorry, I have anxiety. I had come before the committee a couple weeks prior and spoke about my concern about Dyer Ave and the speeding on that street. I was informed that a traffic study was performed and that they found no issues. However, I'm not really happy with that outcome. And I am also concerned with the Printworks building being put into place and all the changes that are going to be happening in that section of Dyer Ave. I'm hoping that either a light system or possibly even the solar signs that show what your speed is, something like similar to that can be put into place. Considering that the traffic is going to change even more drastically than it already is right now, once the storage units open up and the housing opens up as well. Currently, right now, if you're at the fire station and then you're traveling towards Providence, there's over a mile stretch where there's no stop signs, no stop lights, nothing. And a lot of the as someone who lives on that street, I see that a lot of cars tend to use that as a go. Once they leave the traffic lights at the corner of Cranston and Dyer near the fire station. And we do see people speeding down that street a lot. I'm just asking for the city to maybe look into something more that can be done, especially with the 2 crosswalk incidences where a woman died and a woman was hurt in the crosswalks on that street. And that I think that is a cause for something to be changed and not just dismissed. And that's all that I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to be heard on any docketed item tonight?
Hi, Dave Yearwood, for Shake Shack. David Yearwood, Yearwood. For Shake Shack at 30 Hillside Road in Cranston, seeking permission to get our vitriol's license. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Oh, yeah, at this time, we won't be voting on anything, but if you just wanted to tell us a little bit about the business, the hours and
For-
what you're going to be doing.
For sure, yeah. Shake Shack started in New York City. We're known for burgers, fries, shakes. We will also be seeking a beer and wine license, I believe, in the next docket. Our hours of operation will be 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
When this comes up on the agenda, we will have a discussion about it ourselves at that time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to speak on a docketed item tonight?
I'm a little short. So my name is Andrea Marin. Is it too loud? Okay. Andrea Marin on behalf of Cafeology. That's going to be opening in Garden City. I'm here on behalf of our victualers license as well as our beverage license for liquor. Am I allowed to just speak on behalf of what I see on the agenda in terms of what's missing items and why? So for example, it says that we are still missing our Department of Health final inspection. That's just because we're still in rough inspections right now. Okay, I think it's better.
Somebody point to me exactly where this is on the agenda.
It's under section 7 for the victualling license.
Yep.
And it's under section 6 for the BV liquor.
Okay. We are going to get to this part of the agenda. We usually call the applicants up. So,
Individually.
yeah, individually.
Okay, I've never done a beverage liquor
Okay.
license one
All
before.
right, so
Okay,
if you wouldn't mind having a seat.
sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else, not specific to any license that's on the agenda? Are you, like, does anybody here speak Spanish? Please tell us why you're here.
I'm here for the license too, for the license for the business. It's like a nutrition stuff. And then the address, it's 1267 Cranston Street, Cranston.
Okay, all right, we will be calling you up.
Okay,
All right, thank
so
you very much. Okay, anyone else?
Hi, good afternoon. I am living in Dyer Avenue, Cranston.
Your name, sir?
My name is Lutgardo, Lutgrdo. First name, last name is Zurita. Z the zebra, Urita. I am living in Dyer Avenue.
Please move closer to the microphone.
My problem is that the Dyer is long distance. Every week produce accident. Too much speed the people. Last year, my petition for the mayor is putting the light traffic, especially in the housing. Housing is location in Ziberbend and Dyer. The people too much not respect the 25 miles they were supposed for the not respect nothing. Accident 4 years ago died the woman from my house. I need please solution. What's the solution? The headache is very dangerous. Every week, this morning, accident. Report in the police. Last week, same thing. Please, I need a solution. Final solution is putting the light traffic and presence the police. Control the speed, too much speed. The people no respect, especially in the morning. 6:30, 7, in the afternoon, in the night, all the time. Putting the radar, the control how many cars pass in the day, in the night, how many cars pass in the speed, nothing. Please, I need a solution. No solution. Last year, my petition for the mayor, The council, John, is take copy. Yes or no? Please. It's need solution, no? Every day, every week, the long distance. The speed is a small highway. It's very dangerous. Living in my area is dangerous. The people don't respect nothing. This morning accident, last week accident, every week accident. It's it's no good. This is America. This is respect. This is the people today not respect the speed, nothing. What the solution? The solution put the traffic light. In much police presence is control. No bomb speed, no, I don't know. Second question. This area, the highway division, no repairs, no putting the patch roll, no putting the pavement, nothing. There's no attention, no help, nothing. This area, nothing to help. Please take my petition, no? What's the solution? Same thing every day, same thing accident, same thing die the people. 5 years from my house, die the people. Check the report. Die, putting the flowers and the cross, this is terrible. Put in my situation, no? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, we will be discussing this later in the meeting as a group,
Okay.
not at this time. So
Find a
it's going to come
solution.
up later in the meeting and we will be discussing this.
1 year, nothing.
Okay,
What's no solution?
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anyone else in chambers like to speak on any docketed item, not a specific business?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shauna Sampson, lifelong resident of Cranston. Actually, 6 months ago today, I was crossing Dyer Avenue in the crosswalk and I got hit by a car walking my dog. And to speak, again, I know it's redundant. I know everybody wants a solution. I know that there has been a study maybe done. I don't know who did it or what the findings were, but unofficially, I'm the findings. Like, I'm lucky to be alive. I got thrown 51 feet. And the person didn't stop. I have no idea to this day who did this. You know, it was very traumatic for me, very traumatic for my family. We've moved out of that specific neighborhood now, living in a different part of Cranston. Not specifically for that reason, but that was definitely, safety is a big, big concern. And the fact that the police could give me no answer. There was nobody on camera, nobody could find this person. That's alarming to me. That's bothersome to me, that the fact that I see, you know, surveillance video of everything and anything, but the fact that at least a quarter-mile stretch of road doesn't have, which is very high-speed area, you know, even a lot of public property, there's no surveillance. And that's, I mean, I'm not asking specifically for cameras. I'm just suggesting, you know, please look at this safety issue very, very seriously. We all have young kids, and I just thank God my kid wasn't with me on that walk that night, because 5 out of 10 times he was. You know, just seriously look at the issue. I know funding is always, you know, a difficulty. I just hope that we can find it somewhere and make it work, because it needs to happen. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. And again, we will be discussing this as a group later in the meeting. Is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to speak on any docketed item? And just to verify, there's no one on Zoom?
I see no public comment.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to close public comment. And we will move on to committee business matters carried over. At this time, can I please entertain a motion that all matters concerning Spot Bar and Grill be continued to September on this agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
At this time, may I entertain a motion that all matters on this docket in reference to Season Corner Market be continued to October?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is a victualling license for Merlino's Pizzeria at 889 Dyer Avenue. Is the applicant present? This was continued from 6/5/23. Madam Clerk, have they been in contact with the clerk's office?
I haven't spoken to them. No, we haven't.
Okay, can I have a motion to continue?
Motion to continue?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that continuance.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, they will be notified again that
Yes,
they
we will
weren't here?
contact
Okay,
them.
thank you. Next item is Edgewood Laundromat. There will be no votes taken on this matter. I would like to just give a little bit of an update. The laundromat people did have a study done. The study is completed. They pretty much have identified the problems and they are looking at solving them. I think that Councilman Campopiano might be able to add a little bit to that.
Yeah, I did visit the site and I think there's two people that are quoting a way to resolve it, and there's also some other actions that can be taken to help resolve it. So hopefully it'll be done very shortly.
Any council discussion on that? Okay, next we have public hearings. The first item on the agenda is a Class BV liquor license for Cafeology located at 50 Hillside Road. So would the applicant please step forward?
Now is the appropriate time.
Yeah, if you could, welcome again. If you could tell us a little bit about your business and
Sure, Andrea Marin, and it's Cafeology in Garden City, Cranston, Rhode Island. Welcome. Cafeology is a cafe. It's a brunch forward cafe, and it turns into a Spanish tapas restaurant at night. So it does serve liquor, but very minimal, I would say, liquor menu. It's going to be more crafted cocktails, highly focused on brunch and food. It's also women focused. What I mean by that is we support women-owned businesses and we host them inside of our restaurants with their retail. And then we also partner with a water company and we get back a percentage of our water sales to building waterway systems in impoverished countries. But that's basically what Cafeology is. It's really delicious food and
Okay.
helping people.
I see that there are two items of concern on your application that are not
Yes.
complete. Rhode Island Department of Health final inspection
Mm-hmm.
and a certificate of good standing.
Yes.
Could you please update us on those?
Definitely. So the letter of good standing, we had an issue with only because we are a brand new business at the Garden City restaurant. And so we had 0 sales. We filed an extension for our accountant and now we've actually completed it. So I believe our certificate of good standing should be issued to us tomorrow or Wednesday, the latest. In terms of our final inspection, we've had a little bit of pushback with rough inspections, just some sprinkler issues and things that were not done prior to us acquiring the space. And so we kind of got pushed back into rough inspections. We should be also finishing that this week and then moving forward into our finishing the space out. So I think our estimated opening date is going to be the last week of August.
All right, at this time, we are not allowed to issue you the license until you have that Rhode Island Department of Health final inspection.
Really? Okay.
So that would bring you into a month from now. However, if we were to be forced to have a special safety services meeting for anything, you could be notified and we could vote on that provided you have everything completed. But at this time, we're not allowed to give you the license until you have that.
Got it. But we could actually have a special meeting before that date of September 11th.
It depends on the
Maybe.
timing. It's hard to call everyone in to have a meeting for
Right.
just one item.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm saying there's a chance there could be a special meeting, but
Okay.
you can keep the clerk updated.
Okay.
And like, if for some reason that comes through in 3 or 4 days or 5 days, maybe a night that we have another meeting, we could schedule a quick 15-minute meeting just to approve your license.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
want you to sit idle for 2 or 3 weeks with the
Right.
license, with the health certificate in your hand and not being able to open.
Exactly.
We would go out of our way to meet,
I
but it would
appreciate
have to be a
that.
night that we have another meeting.
Okay.
For instance, next Thursday, we have meetings, correct?
Yeah.
And if you would get that by next Tuesday, we could have
Right.
a 15-minute meeting just to
I
approve
know
your
it will
license.
be definitely another 2 to 3 weeks before that happens, because there's still a lot of
Okay.
work to be
All
done
right.
inside the space.
So keep in touch with the clerk's office,
Okay.
keep them updated. And if we don't get that in time, it would have to wait till next month.
Okay. Okay.
All righty.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I need a motion to continue that.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Topgolf USA located at 120 Sacanasset Cross Road. You have 2 items on the agenda here. Is anyone from Topgolf here? You are.
Yes, we're here.
Should have
Hi,
known by the shirt you were wearing.
wearing it for you. Hi, I'm Shanda Burleson, Director for Topgolf.
David Del Rossi, Operations Manager for Topgolf. David Del Rossi.
You have to speak directly into the microphone so it gets recorded.
David Del Rossi and Operations Manager.
Okay, if you want to tell us what's going on, give us an update. We're all anxious to find out.
Figured. We are full on time pretty much with construction, still planning on late fall, early October open. We started hiring today. In fact, we're having our first hiring event while we're here, so hoping we're gonna hire a lot tonight. And yeah, construction's going along. We've got everything in order. I don't know what we need for the agenda, but we are doing our full-on hiring process. I've been with Topgolf for 9 years. This is my 4th open and I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. I'm done. I'm very excited for Topgolf Rhode Island, but everything's on track.
Okay, who's been your contact with the clerk's office to fulfill all the requirements for your license?
Cherie Goodall. She's
Okay.
out of our Dallas office.
Now, you have 5 items here that are on our agenda. I'll just tell you what they are, and the Rhode Island Department of Health final inspection, the certificate of good standing, food and safety manager certificate, alcohol training certificate, and a routing slip.
What was
which-
the last
which-
one?
The routing slip goes under public entertainment license.
Okay.
So, like I said to the other applicant, we're not allowed to issue a license to you until all those things are complete. So you want to have a grand opening when?
It is gonna be like first week of October.
So you have plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
So if we have another meeting in September, what's the first Monday in September?
September 11th.
September 11th is our next regularly scheduled meeting. So if you have that all done by then, you should come before us to get an
Yes,
approval.
yeah. for
If
sure.
you don't, there's no reason for us to even have it on the agenda, correct? Or we can just, or we would just continue it another month. So please
Absolutely.
have her keep in touch with the clerk's office. So if this comes up to be like September 7th or 8th and you're not ready, just let her know and we will just continue it till October.
Okay. We take over the building on August 28th, so all that should be in motion. We should be ready by.
And in the
September.
event, like I said to the other applicant, you get to a point where you're almost ready and we don't have a meeting scheduled. I'm sure we could do the same thing, just try and fit a meeting in just to
Thank
approve
you.
your license.
Okay.
All right?
We'll be
So
on top of it. Thank you so
thank you for
much.
coming before us.
Thank you.
May I please have a motion to continue all matters in reference to Topgolf USA?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Council Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next we have, under public hearings, expansion of premises for the Red Lounge located at 355 Dyer Avenue. Is the applicant present? The applicant is not present. So may I please have a motion to continue?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that continuance.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next we have new matters before the committee. And there are many. First one is a holiday sales license new for the wine and liquor company DBA Christie's Liquors located at 1500 Oak Lawn Avenue. Is the applicant present? Or someone representing the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Robert Murray representing the Wine and Liquor Company, Inc. This is a routine holiday license provided for under state law in order to open on holidays. They know the statute says you shall grant the license, but it's they open at noon on holidays and they just, it's a requirement. They apply for the license.
Okay,
Motion to approve?
may I have a second? Any discussion from the committee? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that license.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Thank you very much.
Certainly welcome. The next is a victualling license for the Green Life Nutrition. And I don't think we're allowed to use the translator.
No, it's okay.
Counsel,
I do.
you're good? Okay, very good. All right, so you're the applicant, Green Life Nutrition. If you could tell us a little bit about your business real quickly?
Okay, so, yeah, so my name is Ramon Mejia. Ramon Mejia, last name. I can,
And Majia,
Mejia, yeah. And then, the address, my business, it's 1267 Cranston Street, Cranston, Rhode Island, and 02920. And, so my hours, it's the name is Green Life Nutrition. So my hours, it's 7 to 7. And I sell like protein shakes, and the tea and a drink, and the same product, and that's it.
okay, can I have a motion to approve in a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions for the applicant from the committee?
What are the, good evening.
Yes, Councilman Donegan.
What days are you going to be open? And what are the hours?
So suppose tomorrow, yes.
Well, how many days a week?
Oh, how many days a week? I think 7 days. Yeah, 7 days.
7 days from 7 to 7?
Yes.
You work a lot of hours. Any other questions or discussion from the committee? Okay, Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that license.
Thank you.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Congratulations and good luck with your business. All right. Next, we have Cafeology located at 50 Hillside Road for a victualling license.
Motion to continue?
You have a motion to continue?
Yes, is it for victualling as well? For victualling as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, all the necessary paperwork is in for the victualling license?
I'll withdraw my motion.
I would defer to the solicitor. I'm not sure if the requirements for the liquor we wouldn't be, if we could issue the victualling without one without the other.
You can issue a victualling license, you cannot issue alcohol license. Victualling can stand alone, alcohol cannot.
I think we should, can I have a motion to approve the victualling license only for Cafeology?
Motion approved.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Thank you.
All right, so you're halfway there. Good luck this
Halfway.
month.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have Polk Brothers Cranston LLC located at 40 Saconaset Crossroad. Please state your name, address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Nicholas Yang, and I am here on behalf of the applicant, Yifan Guo. And the address of the business is 40 Saconaset Crossroad. So a little bit description of the business. Poke Bros is a poke restaurant. For those that don't know poke, the easiest way to describe it is sushi in a bowl, plus some extra fun stuff in it. And we are hoping to open the restaurant by the end of the month, hopefully, fingers crossed. Everything should be in line, but yeah.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve and a second for discussion?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion from the committee or questions for the applicant? Councilwoman Jermaine.
Yes, what are the days of operation?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The days and hours of operation?
Yeah, so we are planning on doing 7 days a week from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. 9 p.m., sorry.
11 to 9?
11 to 9, yes.
Any other discussion or questions? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that license, please.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Shake Shack located at 30 Hillside Road. Applicant, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
My third attempt, David Yearwood.
Tell us about your delicious food.
Yeah, we do classic American treats, burgers, fries, shakes with high quality premium ingredients.
Okay, and your hours of operation?
We're going to be 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion or questions for the applicant from the committee?
I would like to wish you good luck and
All right, thank you so much.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Thank you. I'd just like to say congratulations. I'm sure it's going to be approved and you created a lot of a buzz and excitement in Garden City yesterday. And I saw a lot of stuff on social media. So great job hitting the ground running and look forward to being a frequent visitor.
Thank you. Looking forward to some sleep before we get into it tomorrow for sure. Thank you, Councilman.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that application.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next is the Top Golf USA CDLLC. We should just continue that? Or do we want to approve that part of the license because it's in order? Madam Clerk, is that victualling license in order for Top Golf?
No, because they still have to have the health department approvals.
May I have a motion to continue that Top Golf victualling license?
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on that.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Council, can I please question you on a matter? Councilman Videcchia? All right. For Top Golf just now, we didn't vote on the victualling license because of the other health department concerns that were in order, but we did vote on Cafeology. Why would it be here for renewal if everything wasn't in order?
Are you speaking of Top Golf? Or are you speaking about?
Yes, I'm right, well, I'm kind of speaking
know.
for both Cafeology and Top Golf. They're here under victualling license because everything is in order on their license.
Right.
But we didn't approve Top Golf just now because the Department of Health final inspection isn't done. Shouldn't that say that here also?
Where exactly I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. So I'm not sure I'm.
Section
understanding.
7,
Section 7.
no matters
under
before the
victualling
council. Go to the
license.
second page.
Number 5, Top Golf.
Yes. Can we vote on that right now?
Well, what is missing?
So I
For
think,
victualling.
I think the confusion is because I think Councilman Ferry is saying that that we have to list it, the items that they still don't have listed on one and not with the victualling. That's your question? And I.
Yes.
Because I think the confusion is that the Class B, the alcohol goes hand in hand with the victualling. And when Miranda did the draft, she didn't just copy it onto the victualling.
I mean, I can't answer to why it was scheduled the way it was on the docket. It doesn't make sense to me that they should be separated out if there's 5 things missing for the BV.
Well, they're
Why-
separated out because the first section is advertised as a public hearing because of the alcohol. The victualling is not advertised, that's why it's separated out. But the question was, like I had asked before, can we issue the victualling without the alcohol? And you said
You
yes,
can, I mean, I don't know
but.
why
not-
you would want to, but
Correct.
they're not gonna be open till October. They're gonna have to come back anyway. I'm not quite understanding why.
So my point is,
Yes, sir.
on the second item under that, Cafeology, we just approved the victualling license. And we did it because she was here. It wasn't, we probably should have continued it,
Cafeology?
Cafeology.
So you're saying it was the same,
Yes, St. Rhode Island Department of Health final inspection and certificate of good standing.
well. Yeah,
Councilman Ferry, I believe, sorry,
no, go
I
ahead.
think the applicant stated that she was gonna, the health department approval, she was gonna get either by tomorrow or Wednesday. I think that's
Right.
why you went forward and approved that, the
All right.
victualling. Because the certificate of good standing deals with the liquor, not the victualling.
Okay,
She'll have the health department approval with this week.
all right.
I believe that's why the committee
Okay.
voted to approve it.
So are we, I just want to make sure we're okay with that.
Well, I think we are. I mean, and I apologize. It's probably something I missed as well. I mean, you know what the policy that we have and telling the committee time and again is that we can't issue conditional approvals. People should have these things lined up, but I did hear her say as well, something about tomorrow.
She's not going to actually get the license until she hands you that certificate. Okay. all right.
Anyway, I may have missed that. I probably should have stood up and just as a reminder to say, don't issue it conditionally, but again, what I heard from her was that she had no plans of opening until either late August or the beginning of September.
All right.
And was gonna come back anyway, so.
Thank you. I just wanted to verify that we were okay with that. Thank you very much. Okay, next we have no business from the traffic engineer, no show cause, no business from the police department, no business from the fire department. Next, I would like a motion to take block 12 licenses as one block, all the license renewals that are on the agenda.
Motion to approve as a block.
Second.
So, Madam Clerk, please take a vote. Take,
I'll,
yes, yes.
like to withdraw my motion and rephrase motion to take as a block.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on taking it as a block? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on taking group 12 as a block.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, now may I have a motion to approve the block?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on approving the block? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on approving the block.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, any discussion on monthly schedules from anyone? On the committee? Next, we'll move on to license issued administratively. We have two licenses that are approved administratively. ABCD Brothers Kitchen, Panini Planet, and Boba Wave, just for informational purposes. Okay, next we have council communications. Councilman Donegan has one item on the agenda. It's about Dyer Avenue traffic safety concerns. Councilman Donegan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. So one issue that has repeatedly come up, certainly before I was on the council and since I've been on the council, and I know that it will likely long persist, is traffic issues. And I think that one of the more common and frequent complaints we receive from constituents and residents within the city are issues of speeding and traffic and whatnot. And Dyer Ave is no exception. But where Dyer Ave stands out for me in terms of, Ward 3 is there have been significant accidents on that street. We heard from Shauna, who thankfully is here today, able to be here today. There have been accidents involving people who did not survive the incident. And I am appreciative of the police department for always being responsive anytime I reach out about, hey, I'm getting complaints about, Dyer Ave on this area or that area. And, they always go out and monitor it and they're great at doing that, but they can't be everywhere. And I really think that it's time that we start to think about being more proactive in approaching making our streets safer, because it can't just be enforcement. That alone is not going to do it, in my opinion. And so one thing that I would like to see happen, and I've introduced that it'll come next month, is the pedestrian activated light over at Riverbend, where you mentioned. But something like Shauna mentioned, it was either Shauna or Nikki that mentioned the solar powered radar speed signs. I've reached out to state reps and state reps. I've tried to work with our grant writer. Those cost like $2,800 for a pair. $2,800 for a pair to get the same ones that were put over by Dew Temple. I contacted the person that the police department purchased the ones that are over by Dew Temple. $2,800. That was the quote that I received directly from them last. We've got to, $2,800. If we can't get it through a state grant, which I know that's how we funded the other one, through a legislative grant, we've got to be able to find it in a $320-something million budget. So I think that I really thank the police department and the administration for doing the traffic study. But even if some might not feel that we need to do something, the residents do. And there is something that is very important about people feeling safe where they are. And I think that doing some of those things, while it might not solve every issue, would probably go a long way in making people feel safer where they live. And that is not something that you can really quantify in a traffic study. So I just wanted to put this on the docket to give people the chance to talk. Certainly if representatives in the police department had anything to weigh in, I know all ears.
Any other discussion from the committee? Councilman Paplaskas.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, Councilman Donegan, thank you for bringing this forward. Speeding is certainly an issue, number one issue I think I get phone calls for on a regular basis. You know, and it's spotty. You could be speeding at 11 o'clock at night, which is what we're having issues with on Cranston Street in the Mechanic neighborhood to, you know, Dyer Avenue, which bleeds into Knightsville and Cranston Street. We're having the same similar issues. So you mentioned the speed signs, you know, it clicked in my head, maybe we should buy a dozen and use opera funds if that's an availability. It is a safety concern. I think it might fall under that. That's a drop in the bucket to what we have for opera funds. And then if we get a dozen of them, there's, you know, 2 for every ward. We can find the 2 worst spots and put them up. I'd be in favor of something like that. But Chairman, thank you for the time, and thank you, Councilman Donegan, for bringing this up.
Councilwoman Mazzulli.
Thank you, Chairman Ferry. I agree with Councilman Paplaskas. I do know the 2 constituents that are here personally. And this is a problem that's come up in several spots of the city. I think that more people are walking now, more people started walking through COVID, and we do want to be a walkable city, and we're trying to build things around the ability to walk and bike. So I do agree that it could possibly fall under ARPA, and that would probably be the best way to go. We could still look for grants so that we can get more. But everybody's asking for these. They ask all the time, how did we get these? Can we get more? And while seeing your speed doesn't necessarily make people slow down, it has to do something. And like Councilman Donegan said, just people being more comfortable and more aware can solve problems that we can't really necessarily quantify. So I think that would be a great idea that I would be in favor of as well. Thank you.
So, Woman Jermaine.
Thank you, Chair. This safety concern, it's as we all know, we all receive the same complaints. And I think Auditor Mario here, you know, if you can. No, he's not here tonight. I think he's here. He can give
Captain
us.
Cannavale's here.
Can give us a little, I know he knows really well how we can better use ARPA fund. If that can, because also we do have a grant writer. And since this year started, I don't know if we have anything new. That's something we can ask our grant writer to look for money, because it's not only what TWI. And I have a lot of requests, and I was thinking about pedestrian attracted traffic light as well, because we have an issue, Pond, Street, Grace, it's all over the place. Like, we need that. It's not only for one ward. We need money to make sure because as you mentioned, our police department cannot be 24/7 in those streets. So we have to find a way to deter those who are speeding. So we need money, I think, after we are ensure that we can use our fund, but we can use more money. If there's grant available, we do have a grant writer, we can ask them to do that.
Councilwoman Jermaine, do you have a question for Captain Cannavale?
Yes, I sent email to also, what is your take on this proposition about signal radar? So when like Providence, they have a lot of those in Providence. Is that something we can go through as well that can, you know,
I'm sorry,
deter people?
go to what? Cameras?
Yeah,
Cameras looking at like at the intersections?
yes.
That'd be fine. The problem, I like the idea with the cameras, with the speed, saying exactly what you're doing, because the majority of people, they don't really realize how fast they're going. They look at it and they'll slow down. Some people, I fear, not the normal person, will take that almost as a challenge, and they think, oh, I can get it up to 45 and that kind of thing. And that scares me, where now you get someone that's looking at the thing and they're not even paying attention. Because a lot of the problems, like we did the study and it didn't show that much abnormalities to that area. But there's so much distracted driving where you don't have to be going fast to hit somebody in a crosswalk. You're just not paying attention. You're on your phone, you're talking to the kids, you're talking, even if you're on Bluetooth, whatever. And the distracted is much worse than even the speeding. We can catch somebody speeding, but if you're not paying attention, that's tough. As far as the cameras, I know Providence, they hired a company. I think was the buses, something to do with the buses and stuff too. All the money went to that company. It didn't even go to the city. So that's something I'd be very leery of. As far as what you were saying about ordering them, as far as the speed things, I'd be all for that. Just in the back of my mind, though, I think of the younger kids challenging, thinking they can get,
If I may ask you a question, oh, I'm sorry, you got another question?
Oh, yes, I was like a little surprised when, I forget your name, I'm sorry, Shauna. When she mentioned, she got hit and there was no camera, nothing that could catch this person who hit her in one. So is that something, it's only that particular area or it's common in the city? We do not have.
We have a lot of luck.
camera.
We have a lot of luck finding cameras. I can't believe there was nothing in that area.
That was really
Not that I don't believe it,
surprising.
but I just can't believe that you were that unfortunate. Even if there's a partial plate or a good description of the vehicle, we put that into Flock and we have a high success rate of finding the car, very, very high. So unfortunately, I'm sure you were unable to gather any of that information.
I'm sorry, it's.
I
I'm
don't care.
sorry.
I don't mind you
You
talking.
cannot, yes, that's yeah.
Council? Public hearings has been closed.
Okay, then not talk. No, okay.
We have to follow the rules.
Okay, hypothetically, if you did have the information, I'm surprised that we couldn't do anything with it. Because we have a very high success rate with that.
Councilman, okay. But I have a question for you. I live on Cranston Street. And we have one of those signs that blinks and tells you how fast you're going. And I like it because sometimes I might be going 33 or 34 and I immediately go back to
You're a nice
slow.
person.
All right. It reminds me, sometimes I'm going too fast, but there are people that put the pedal down and see how fast they can go too, like you said. But the one on Cranston Street facing south has been broken for 7 months. Who's responsible for that?
I do not know. I can find out, but I have no idea.
Correct, Councilman Paplaskas, can we end on that?
So I can't give you the who's responsible, but I do know we got those from a state grant working with DOT. And they're different than the ones that Councilman Donegan's talking about. The ones that Councilman Donegan's talking about and that have been going up from legislative grants, once it hits a cap, it says too fast. So you can't mess around with it and say, okay, I want to see if I can do 75 up Hope Road. It'll say too fast. It just won't give you a number. But yeah, we need to look into that because that.
It's been broken for 7 months. They took the screen out of it evidently to get a new electronic part or something. And I can't get an answer from anybody. I thought the fire department was responsible for them. No?
I don't know.
I thought I was told that one time.
Yeah, we'll look into that, Councilman.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Manzulli?
Thank you. This is not a question, but just something to put out there. If we could perhaps see if there's anything within. I'm very interested, and when Director Pizzuto comes, I will ask this question about how traffic, streets, overnight parking, all of that goes into the comprehensive plan, because I do think, and I know that Councilman Donovan agrees, that this is an overall issue across the city. It's different in different parts of the city. And so that is something that the contracted company could potentially study, and we could get the best bang for our buck, because they can give us maybe some recommendations that we can then work with public safety to, and then grant writers to try and enforce. But I don't know if you guys know, I work at the DMV in my second job, and everything that Captain Carnavale said about distractibility and collisions is all 100% true. That's what the biggest problems that we have. If people even studying for the test don't even realize how much they're distracted just by having an extra person in their car. So I don't know if we can have some kind of, we need to have public awareness campaigns on a lot of things in the city, like rats, but even with speeding, this is a thing that a personal accountability that people need to take on and remember that the people walking is somebody's sister, mother, daughter, aunt, your neighbor. It's, we're all in this together. Everybody speeds sometimes, everyone gets distracted. But if we don't kind of put it out there, and we can all do this, we all have social media, we need to talk about it more. We can't just say, there's a speeding problem, we need a light, or we need to, like, people need to be talking and realize that this affects all of us. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I see nothing else on the agenda, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Okay.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. The Finance Committee meeting will start in 10 minutes.
This time, I'd like to call the August Finance Committee meeting to order. Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilman Donegan,
Present.
Councilman Ferry,
Present.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Present.
Councilman Campiano, Councilman Paplaskas,
Present.
Councilman President Vargas.
This time we'll take a motion to approve the previous minutes of the July 3rd, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
New business before us this evening. We have ordinance 2-23-07. Ordinance and amendment of Title III of the Code of the City of Cranston entitled Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.97030, 15 years economic development tax incentive program for property located at 661 Park Avenue and 271 Doric Avenue, tax stabilization agreement. This is sponsored by Councilman Ferry and co-sponsored by Councilwoman Renzulli.
Motion to approve.
So my understanding is that this is going to be continued tonight. I see the applicant is present. Sir, if you would like to provide any comment.
Sure, Marshall D'Ambrosio. I'm the owner of 661 Project. I'm just here to thank Mr. Verrecchia for reaching out to Mr. Mancini today. I guess we have a meeting scheduled within 2 weeks to come to some agreement or hammer out some agreement with the city. I just want to publicly thank you for that. It's been a long time since February. And thank you again for addressing this and scheduling a meeting the next 2 weeks. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I believe that a meeting will be held between the applicant and the administration regarding any proposal. Solicitor?
Yes, just to just expand a bit on Mr. D'Ambrosio's comments. So I did exchange emails today with his attorney, Attorney Mancini, spoke with Attorney Angel. I spoke with Solicitor Malay on Friday, and I also spoke with Chairman Ferry. And the plan is to have a meeting with the attorneys, hopefully well in advance of the September meeting. So obviously that's only 4 weeks away. We hope to get this done within the next 2 weeks and have something in place so that the committee can move forward on the merits of the application. But I just want to make clear that what the attorneys, at least the city's attorneys, will be meeting about is the issue involving enabling legislation. By that, I mean, we have currently an ordinance which addresses commercial and industrial tax incentive programs. We are missing residential. That's the hole that we need to plug. So once that is done, then the application can come forth to be considered by the committee. So just so the record's clear, the city's attorneys, we're approaching this from a generalized position. We need to establish the authority for the committee to move forward. So that's what hopefully we're going to be doing.
Thank you, Solicitor. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue.
Motion to continue. Wait, you never gets.
And what?
Do we have a motion to continue? Was that heard?
There was a motion to approve. I don't know if it was seconded. I couldn't hear it. There was no second. Okay.
The motion to approve was withdrawn. We have a motion to continue. Do we have a second? All right. Is there any comment from the committee prior to a vote? Councilwoman Jermaine.
As I look at this ordinance, was continued March, April, May, June, July. My question is, before this ordinance even be put like for a hearing, where were we? This is, I don't know, where were we? So we have solicitors, when we have an ordinance that come for a hearing before even the ordinance get into the committee, what should we be doing? So after 6 months, we're still not able to come to a compromise? To something continue, and we're running a city? I am just stunned. So we are calling for developer to come to our city to do business with us, and we are delaying things like this 6 months and still nothing like that is concrete. Come on. What are we doing? That's the question I would like to know. What's going on? Why after 6 months we have nothing now? We schedule a meeting. After 6 months, we haven't even discussed what should be happening with this. And he becomes before the committee. I'm not a lawyer. This should become before us. Well done. That's something when I write something, because I am not a lawyer, so the lawyer, the solicitor that work should take it and then go all pro or against it. And that is not acceptable. I'm just upset because it's like we are doing nothing. We're not doing anything here.
Is there any other comment prior to a vote? Seeing none, clerk, please take a roll on the motion to continue.
Councilman Donegan,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano, Councilman Paplas.
Yes.
Okay, so that matter was previously before us. At this time, I would like to open up for public comment on any docketed matters. Is there any public comment on any docketed matters? Seeing none in person, is there any public comment online?
I see no public comment.
At this time, I'll close public comment. Before us, if it would be okay with the committee, I'd like to entertain a motion to take the docket out of order. Director Pizzullo is here and I would like to afford him the opportunity.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Director Pizzullo, so under communications, there was a request at the council meeting for your presence this evening. Thank you very much for being here. Councilwoman Renzulli, like to.
Hi, Director Pizzullo. Thank you for joining us. I just have some simple questions. There's no trick questions. I watched the planning meeting, so I know the basics of what's going on. And I know that Councilwoman Vargas could not be here tonight, but she had some questions about the staffing. So whichever one you'd like to answer first is fine. My main concerns or questions regarding the comprehensive plan, as I know we're about to enter into a contract with a very good firm, in my opinion. And I'm curious about if we will be able to get when we'll be able to get a timeline of how this is going to go, because I know that the last time our comprehensive plan was approved by us, I think it was August 2012, and by the state in October 2012. So with Speaker Sarkachi's House bill that passed, I believe goes into effect March 2024. Says if your comprehensive plan is not been approved in 12 years, then you can't, it's not valid to use not letting a development happen. So I'm just wondering if you believe we're gonna be able to be done, in a year, or how this goes. It goes, I know they're gonna have
Well-
public meetings and then it'll go to planning. When does it come to us? And if it gets delayed, how can we be proactive so that we're not and at no fault of your own, August meeting next year, continuing things?
So, next summer, fall is when the first version of this new comp plan is going to be presented for public hearings. So, a year from now, more or less. The way that we're structuring the contract, this state law is inconvenient for us, it's really, inconvenient. We would look at these as essentially a phase one, which would be coming to the council so that the council can adopt a new plan. That's really going to be more like an update of the existing plan, new data. But it's not really the robust public outreach that we really wanted to do originally. I envisioned doing a year of public outreach to revise the goals and policies. So, yeah, we'll have something about a year from now, more or less. We'll be discussing it, and we'll be discussing it throughout the year. I think, it'll get to a certain point where you'll not want to discuss the comp plan, to be completely honest. After that, we move into the phase two, which could take, honestly, a few years. That's when the plan will have to meet all the state guide plan, and goals and policies will be adjusted. That's where it's going to get more into the actual rewrite territory of the plan. That's how I see it right now, before we've really gone very far, but that's pretty much how we see it. That's with the new future land use map. That's with new goals and policies, objectives, action items, things like that.
And you might not know this, but I'm hoping an attorney will know, or we can, revisit this with an attorney that you work with, that basically the one that comes to the planning meeting, and his name goes
Steve Marcella.
Steve Marcella,
Yep.
because he's the subject matter expert, I guess. But how does that affect the bill that went through the legislature that I mentioned? Are we going to, because phase one will come out, or version one,
Right, something we will
will
have.
that count? Or no, because it's not an approved plan that goes through I'm just wondering who can tell
The
us.
state law, as far as I understand it, does not, this plan that has to be adopted by the city does not have to be approved by the state. The full adoption of the plan will have to go through the statewide planning and all the different agencies and everything else like that. This, we'll still call it phase one, will not. It will not have to go through that process. But it's going to be a pretty heavy update of what we have right now. There's a lot to work on. But yeah, there's in terms of what this all means once we get to the other end, most of the stuff that got passed this year will get challenged one way, shape, or form, by residents or developer, who knows, right? A lot of challenging gonna go on.
So do you anticipate us as a council approving, we're gonna approve a phase one and then approve, which is more like an update, you're saying, and then approve a phase two, which is more of a full?
Yes.
Like that will come through two
that's-
councils perhaps?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other way around it. It's virtually impossible to rewrite a plan and go through the statewide planning process, which can take a year in itself. It's impossible, so the law's it's inconvenient this year for us, but we'll have something for the whole council to discuss into next fall.
And I've had some conversations with other members here, including Councilman Donegan, about, is there any way that, safe streets, traffic, overnight parking, any of those things I've read in other comprehensive plans, I do try to read things before I ask questions. They do consider that part of, the city comprehensive plan or part of urban planning. Is that something that can be addressed, and how do you decide exactly what gets addressed
Well,
in this comp plan?
so for something like overnight parking, is that what we're talking? It's not on the comprehensive plan now. If we want it to be, we could do an amendment next month to get something into the comprehensive plan. I just don't think it's needed. If we want to do overnight parking, it's an ordinance. So putting it in the comp plan is just identifying a policy. That is the policy of the council, but it's really not needed. It would just be an ordinance, really.
I think that my question around that is more so our planning experts' opinion on how to implement, where needs overnight parking versus where council, we know we get complaints. We know there's certain things we're not subject matter experts in safe streets, speeding, parking. And I was thinking perhaps an urban planner would have an opinion or knowledge that we don't have that they could offer to us so that we've been spinning our wheels on that topic a little bit. And I don't want it to be political and I don't want it to just be opinions floating around. I want an expert to tell us, you should do this here and no, you don't need it here. And then have public safety weigh in and then us be able to write an ordinance perhaps.
Right. We've thought about this. Again, it's not something that we would spend a good amount of time in the comprehensive plan discussing because it's a very detail-oriented objective. My opinion would be if we were to study this issue, we would probably need to form a subcommittee of some kind, police, fire, public works, including highway, and start to study this issue in terms of what are the drawbacks. And I think that, it's not an issue for the entire city. It's targeted areas that we need to do. And I don't know, it could be a pilot program where we do certain areas and see how it works. And then there's an equity issue that comes into play when, there's only so many spots that can be, parking on a street. And you have streets that have lots of people who might want to park overnight. So then who's worthy enough to get the spots? So there's a lot of complexity to this. And I think that it's, if the council wants to move forward on this, I think that we need to have some type of a subcommittee, really look at those issues and the pitfalls with it.
Thank you. Same thing with, I'll let you ask about Safe Streets stuff.
Thank you. So I know I had reached out before about Complete Streets ordinance and how that would fit into comprehensive plan updates. I would like to thank you and the department. I did receive a phone call from Gregory, who, I've had the pleasure to work with on some community organizational work in the past, and he did reach out. I was running out the door. Him and I are going to connect this week to discuss that, and certainly happy to update the council as that conversation progresses.
Right.
But I don't know if you want to address the question, is the comprehensive plan a vehicle in which the city can think about and consider sustainable solutions to transportation for everyone within the city?
Definitely. I think that how we're approaching at least the circulation element this year is going to be a much different process than we've done in the past. Especially having someone like Greg in the office, who's very passionate about multimodal transportation issues. And I don't think it's going to be a business as usual type of a discussion. We have a micro grant from Grossmont, Rhode Island. We had people out at the farmer's market this past weekend doing surveys and we're, getting the outreach. This is almost like a primer for these type of community engagement topics on this. And it's a big conversation. It's a big conversation. Big population in the city does not have access to vehicles. Populations like that can be seen as invisible sometimes. So we have to be, cognizant of that and really be mindful. And I think that the comp plan circulation element will be much more of a multimodal focus. I see that right now. Not everything will get into this version of the plan, like this phase one, but definitely the skeleton of what we want to do should appear in this phase one.
Thank you. And regarding the subcommittee, and it could have just been my misinterpretation. Last year, when we had to submit names for the Traffic Safety Commission, the person that I put forth as a representative for Ward 3, I put forth someone who I knew was very transit focused and pedestrian focused, thinking that that subcommittee would kind of look at things like how will our streets themselves, be open and safe for all people. So maybe that a tweaking of that ordinance could potentially be a place for that rather than starting something completely new. But Councilwoman Renzulli, I know that it looked like you had some follow-up questions.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that, committees that are formed to do these things can actually get the ball down the field, not just have meetings where we just discuss topics, but then we can't do anything because I know that's going to frustrate me. I have a feeling that will frustrate Councilwoman Jermaine, and we want to get some things done. So if we are going to form subcommittees, I want to know that they are the vehicle to get stuff moving. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time and it's for show. So that's one thing. Two, so I just want to be clear. I'm wondering if we will be able to get some kind of 12-month of what you think this is going to be like, of when we're going to have community outreach meetings, so we can participate and so that we can also advertise them. Because sometimes, things are happening and we're all on social media and people follow us and we could be getting people into these meetings. So I'm just curious if once you sign the contract, there will be some kind of chronological plan that we'll get to see. So we can be a part of this, not so that I'm a pain, but so that I can participate and I don't have to ask so many questions to you directly.
We definitely are looking forward to having everyone's comments. I would say that once we really get rolling, we will have scheduled near-term meetings, and then we will have a tentative schedule of shorter-term meetings, into the spring and into the summer. We will definitely be advertising these things pretty heavily, trying to get everyone, all of the policymakers involved in this. So yes, I will say definitively yes. When we have the schedule, I will share the schedule with the public, put it on the website, start advertising it. And we don't quite know what how the meetings are going to look or where and things like that yet. We don't have logistics yet, but definitely we'll do as much as we can in this limited amount of time.
And when are you actually signing this contract, you think? Soon, right? Or did you already do it? Since planning?
Tom knows, there was one little hiccup that we're trying to finalize on the signature page, which should be done this week. So I was hoping that would have gotten done late last week, but I think that this week we should be able to get that ironed out. It was some small language tweak that the solicitors wanted to see. So it's just about there.
So after that, could you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if we don't have accountability standards, things just,
No,
we get busy.
we are going to start rolling.
And so if you had to guess, when would you be able to provide to us that general, this is kind of month by month, how this is going to go? 2 months from now?
Hopefully within a month.
Within a month.
I'm hopeful within a month we can have a pretty solid schedule, because a year does go by pretty fast. I'm hoping to get a consultant to the Plan Commission for the September meeting if we can. That's my hope. I don't know if they will, but I'm hoping we could maybe carve out a portion of that meeting for the consultant.
And could we come as the public and participate that way? Okay. Then my last question was just for Councilwoman Vargas, who's not here, about the hiring, just based on, I think there's currently an open position, and then the one that you'd be hiring for in the new year. I think she was curious about when that would be posted so that someone could be hired right when we have the money for it.
Well, so principal planner position was open since June, I believe. That's when Doug left to go to Coventry. We've filled his position. We have Ken Kirkland is the new principal planner. He was a long-time intern in my office, probably did almost 5 years of working with us on and off between school. So he agreed to come, and he started actually today. Today was his first full day, so that's good. I'm glad he's there. Alex who was at Planner Tech, left with Doug to go to Coventry. So that was 2 spots down at the same time. So we advertised for Planner Tech. We did interviews and made an offer last week. It's tentative whether or not that individual will come to the city. So that's that. Plus we had another planner who's out on paternity leave. It's been a tough summer, in terms of, staffing and turnover right now. So again, just another inconvenient turn of
Is
events.
The position that was created though to start in January, right? That's what it was, right?
The council did
Yeah,
create the
when will
position.
that get posted?
I'm not sure. That's going to be the decision of the administration, whether or not they choose to let us fill that position. It's not going to be my position. They're not going to be my choice. It'll be the administration's choice.
Okay, if it was up to you, when would you post it so that you could find a qualified individual to start on January 1st?
I would be posting that sometime in October.
Okay. All right,
At the latest, earlier if I could.
earlier if you could, okay. And just general question, is there anything that you need from us that you want to voice now concerning the comprehensive plan or anything you need from us? Just because you're here.
Not at the moment. I don't have anything in particular. We're just trying to keep the department rolling with these, setbacks, but we have the consultant. Doesn't mean that they're going to do all the work, but it's going to be a heavy lift. But we have some new faces, new blood in the office. So hopefully that's going to be good for right now. And if that other position ever gets filled, that would be very, very helpful.
Okay, great. That's all I have. Thank you so much for coming here tonight, Director.
Sure. No
Appreciate it.
problem.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Clerk, if we could, we don't necessarily need your presence next month necessarily, but if we could have on the docket for the September finance status of posting or status of hiring for planning position to begin January 1, 2024. An update, whether it's from you or from Director Moretti, who's here, or Director Zadelis.
Okay.
Councilwoman Jermaine.
Thank you. You said something that just, I want a little more explanation about it. The new position, Councilwoman Wenzuli mentioned that where, the money was allocated at the amended budget to have another, staff member in planning department. And as we know how it is important to have this extra staff member in your department, and you just said that it's not up to you to start the process of hiring. Can you explain in that?
Well, it's going to be the decision of the administration. It's been explained to me that there's a hiring freeze and that we might not be able to fill that position this year.
So the council allocate that money in the budget to hire a staff member as we are in a process where we want this comprehensive plan going on, and we have the money and the process has not started? Is that what you mean?
Right. As far as I understand, it's a half year. It starts in the half year, but the administration has let me know that there is a hiring freeze, so that it's going to be their decision whether or not they allow it to be filled or not filled, not my choice.
So, okay, my question. We are now in August and we know how it was difficult last time to fill many positions in the city. And if we don't start right now, the process of hiring, how we will make sure in January we will have the staff member?
Right. Typically, and this goes for all positions, not necessarily this one. You don't typically solicit for a position 6 months in advance. This would be saved for the planner tech that we just hired. You don't want to keep people on the hook that long in terms of applicants. So it's usually about a 2-month window from the time you solicit to the time you can hire somebody.
So that means we're not sure if we will be able to have a staff member in January. Because if we have a 2 months window, there's nothing that gonna say, hey, I'm gonna have this person, because sometimes you put a post, you have a posting, it take 2-3 months before somebody
Right.
apply, right?
And I'm saying generally for all positions, having that much of a time period, people get other jobs, they lose interest, whatnot. So it's usually a tighter time frame that you solicit in the time that you interview, so that people haven't gone on to take other jobs and, things like that. So
Okay, my last question. As of now, how many staff member you have in your department?
total staff, myself, principal, senior tech, four full-time people.
Now you have 4 full-time. Okay, so I'm so happy that you said you were able to fill this position. As of today, you have a senior planner, right?
We have filled the principal planner position. That person started today, and we're trying to fill the tech person. So right now we have 3, we're missing 1 person right now.
1 person. So this person we don't have any offer, not offer, any one who.
We've offered it to somebody. It remains to be seen if they decide to come to the city.
Okay, so, okay, and I'm gonna go now, but based on what you have right now, do you anticipate that the comprehensive plan will follow the timeline you have previously aside those setbacks?
We're going to have a draft to this council within a year from now, more or less. So we have the staff we have right now. If there's improvements or not, I can't control that, but we'll do the best we can to get that plan to this council.
How long you think this gonna take? So approximately,
For the comp plan?
Yeah.
For the first phase of the comp plan is going to be about a year from now.
Okay.
When you'll be discussing it and deliberating on that first phase of the plan. So probably next fall is when it'll get adopted sometime.
all right, thank you. So I have an urgency, I have to leave, but thank you so much. I'm looking for the next update.
Thank you. Director Zadelis, could I just ask one question? Is there still currently a hiring freeze in the city?
Mr. Chairman, all positions are vetted prior to any filling. So it's on a case by case, basis. But yes, every position is being looked at before it is filled.
And thank you for that response. I am trying to remember correctly if the planning position, I think it was one that was vetoed and then the council overrode that veto. So I just hope that the administration will take that into account when it's appropriate to post this position, because a super majority of the council felt that this position is important and vital to the functions of this department. And I hope that the administration will post for this.
Mr. Chairman, I can guarantee you that all positions are vetted and, as the good Councilor Rizzuoli and yourself have spoken to, this is an important aspect of the city going forward, so that would carry weight.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. Unless there are any other questions, I'm gonna wish you a good night.
Thank you all. Thank you all. And I will issue a report to the full council in the finance committee, but we'll be rolling with these meetings fairly shortly.
Thank you, Director.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
I'm gonna stay under the communications portion, just because we're already here. Director, while you're still here, any exploration of, nope. Director Zadelis, liability policy, how are we looking?
I'm looking, the microphone's looking better than I. Mr. Chairman, if I could ask you to carry it one more month, we are, I will be frank with you, we're behind in getting information out to the one person we get a quote for, but just I want to caution one thing. I believe this will be something that, depending on the outcome of the quote, would have to be bid because it's not exempt from the bidding laws. So I just want to caution, we will get you a number. And the one thing, at least from my opinion, it will not address those one-off claims that we experience. So if I could just ask for an additional. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Director. Sorry, I don't mean to be short. One more month is fine. Lastly, I did speak with Council President Marino. If we could still move forward with getting an update on what the amount of remaining ARPA funds are.
Mr. Chairman, after the adoption of the FY 24 budget and the FY 24 CIP plan, the unexpended, unencumbered or unobligated ARPA balance would be $5,937,305.14.
$5,937,305.14.
Mr. Chairman, that's correct.
Thank you, Director. Okay, moving on from the communication portion, we are going to go back up to section number 7, new matters before the committee. We have ordinances, 7-2301, ordinance authorizing the city to utilize Eastern Cranston Police Department impact fees and Western Cranston Police Department impact fees towards police rent. This was sponsored by myself. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the Stikos initiatives.
Second.
This goes without saying, just carrying on the tradition of former Finance Committee Chairman Steve Stikos. This gets applied to the police rent, saves us about 15 grand. Any discussion? Could buy a couple of those speeding things here. Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilman Donegan? Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
Councilman Campiano? Councilman Paplaskas?
Yes.
Now we have resolutions, real estate tax abatements. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have motor estate tax abatements.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Tangible tax abatements.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Tax interest waiver approvals.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 And tax interest waiver denials.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
At this time, there's no further business before us.
Motion
We'll
to
entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
No discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Have a good night.